Hello and welcome to the first of my many league drafts. I hope leagues are great. I've been doing terrible in them so far, but it's all going to change now because Emrakul. Emrakul's amazing. Emrakul's my favourite card ever. I no longer want to win Magic games when I have Emrakul. I just want to play Emrakul. I'm going to take Emrakul and just go all in on Emrakul. Emrakul's very fun. This has started perfectly. Well, where do we go here then? Well, we need to just pick things to make Emrakul great. So Strange Augmentation is the obvious pick. I'm kidding you. I think we go for... well, there's a few strong cards in this pack. Choking Restraints, Bloodbright's okay, Weaver's good, Subjugator's good, Shrill Howler's good, Sanctifier's good. I'm inclined to go Choking Restraints, though, even though it might be the weakest of the red cards and the white cards in the pack. Just because it makes the game go longer. I suppose it's not necessarily the right pick though. I think Sanctifier is just plain better as a card. You could also exile Emrakul from the graveyard. Value. I suppose someone will take a strong white card from this pack if I pass it. Maybe the Weaver will go next or the Howler. I mean, Howler's an aggressive card. I don't necessarily want to be red if I'm Emrakul, probably green based. I still think I'm going to take Choking Restraints. I mean, Sanctifier and Subjugator Ranger are great. I just want to slow the game down as an enchantment as well, which helps with Emrakul. Humph. Right, where do we go now? Well, Terrarion is the obvious choice. So I've done 2 leagues so far. I've not done particularly well in them. Well, not done well at all. But that's just variance, I suppose, because leagues are great. It means we don't have to wait between rounds, which is the main reason for ever doing it. Ever wanting to play them. The wait between rounds can be perilous and dull, especially if you're trying to stream like I am and you're trying to find something to do fractiously. Leagues alleviate all that stress. I think they're great. What do we take here? So it's either Terrarion, Prey Upon, or Advanced Stitchwing. I think I'm just going to take Terrarion. It's early enough that I just want to see where we go, and I'm greedy enough to want to go Emrakul. As this pack isn't amazing, I'm just going to take Crop Sigil. I've had a fair bit of Emrakul experience recently, and I found that Crop Sigil is an integral part of the Emrakul deck. It's actually surprisingly good. It looks like we're set up well for Delirium at the moment, so let's Crop Sigil it up. I mean, at this point, it's fair to admit I'm blind to anything that's not Emrakul. Well, Spectre Reserves is good, Advanced Stitchwing's good, Desperate Sentry is good at buying time, but Nulwa Dry is in the Emrakul constructed deck, and this is basically the Emrakul constructed deck. Let's take that Dryad. In all seriousness, I think it's probably the pick. It looks like we're going to try our darndest to get Delirium. And 1 mana 3/3 Death Touch is good in a Delirium based deck. So, I mean, white's a speculative choice. I suppose green, white, green, black are the logical places to end up. I think green base is almost a necessity given the ease of access to Delirium, and Emrakul's basically on Super Delirium, so let's hope we get there with this colour. I'm going to take a second Terrarion. I mean, you could take Primal Druid at ramps, but 2 Terrarions means Delirium's going to be online a fair percentage of the time. I mean, Primal Druid's fine, but yeah, I think the second Terrarion's the pick here. It also means we're open to splashing something if we've got other powerful cards, but I don't see why we need to splash anything. We've got Emrakul. At the end of the day, it's all you need in Magic, an Emrakul. So I only played it for the first time 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, and I'm hooked. It's just great. It's just so incredibly fun to take your opponent's turn. It's probably not as fun for them, although whenever I've been Emrakul, I've kind of enjoyed it in a weird way. It's gone, oh crap, here we go. Okay, so we don't want Hamlet Captain because we're not beating down. For the same reason we don't want Tattered Haunter. Laboratory Brute's kind of interesting, works well with Emrakul. So does, also there's nothing else actually. I mean, Laboratory Brute's the logical pick for the Emrakul plan. I'm not sure I necessarily want it though. I think I'd rather speculate on Liliana's Elite and see if we can go black. Black's great in the last pack if you're getting green, black, Delirium, and Laboratory Brute, so I'm probably going to get another one. I don't want the Swift Spinner. I'm going to see if black's open. Well, nothing really here. Cemetery Recruitment kind of goes well with Liliana's Elite. I didn't really want a Swift Spinner, even though I am feeling green is going to be our primary colour, as I mentioned. I'm going to take Cemetery Recruitment. It's a sorcery as well. Okay, a third Terrarion may be pushing it. But at the same time, I mean, what do we take? Wailing Ghoul? Yeah, maybe we just take Wailing Ghoul. You know what? I'm going to take a third Terrarian. Leaves us open to splash anything in this deck. This can be the toolbox deck. People will write home about this deck years from now. So 3 Terrarians really does leave us open for 3 colours. Excuse my yawn. Turn that sound off. Sound effects ruined the last video. Let's not dabble into the realm of SFX this time. And apart from Emrakul, the pack quality, the card quality has not been great. That second pick was high. I think Spectre Reserves is great, especially if we are playing 3 colours, which it looks likely. And Spectre Reserves is a sorcery as well, which helps with the old Emmy. Now we're passing up on a Wailing Ghoul. We don't really need the Field Creeper, given that we've got 3 Terrarians, so I'm going to go for Spectre Reserves. Okay, I'll take in the recruitment. I probably won't play this. I'll speculatively take... Well, I'm not going to spec. I will take a Fiendbinder despite having no intention of playing it. Okay, so... kind of a crappy pack, aside from Emrakul, which makes any pack great. So Field Creeper here. I suppose we still take it. Borrow Malevolence, we're not passing much. No, I think we can pass up another. We can pick up another Field Creeper. Malevolence actually would make the cut. And Field Creeper probably would too, but not necessarily as strong. So Liliana's Elite's not looking great here. We need a grapple. We do not get a grapple. We get Ulamvold Captive. Defiance is for someone else. Rise from the Grave. Yeah, I mean, that would be nice with the old Emmy. I'm not sure between the Captive and the Restraints, though. I mean, Rise from the Grave is great with Emrakul, but I do feel it will wheel. I mean, you don't get the cast trigger, but you do get 13/13 Flying Trample. And that's not bad, I hear. I do feel like I might just take the Captive here. We're certainly going to be green. We're probably going to be white. Well, not even probably. We've got 1 good white card and a Spectre Reserves, which may or may not make the cut. Mana Ramp is very good with Emrakul. It's maybe just the Restraints, though. It's enchantment, slows the game down. Let's go for it. Deploy the Gatewatch. Close but no cigar. So I think I might take the Desperate Sentry here. We're low on creatures, and this is actually a creature that's going to be quite good with Delirium. Spectre Reserves, maybe a wheel. I'll definitely play it. Again, it's you can play it in many decks. It gains you 2 life and puts 2 chump blockers if you're playing a slow deck. If you're playing an aggro deck, get you more powers. Okay, I think with 2 Choking Restraints and Ironclad Slayer is a great pickup here. We're passing an Ulamvold Captive, though. Actually, I think I might just take... difficult picks. I think this pick white-green is where we're going to be. Maybe splashing black. If we were splashing anything, I suppose. I don't really want to splash Liliana's Elite in a creature-light deck. It doesn't strike me as a great idea. So it's Captive or Slayer. I think this time I am going to take Captive. I mean, Slayer's great with these Choking Restraints, but we have no way to mill ourselves at the moment for the incremental thing apart from Crop Sigil. Ulamvold Captive is just like purely brilliant. I'm going to take the Captive and hope we find another Slayer. I think the Captive is more premium in this deck. Okay, Into the Horror Swarm's the least bad option here, so let's just take that. Swarm it up. So solidified in green-white control, I guess. Excuse me. Still want some more low creatures, still want some more Delirium, payoffs and enablers, I suppose. A Grapple with the Past would be perfect and much, much needed here. We have about 4 cards to see it. Other than that, we're just going to have to hope to draw Emrakul naturally. Okay, well, Shrill Howl is great and all, but I think at this point we are going to take the Ironclad Slayer. I'm really glad one came through. We've got 2 Choking Restraints. Yeah, the Ironclad Slayer looks like the solid pick here. Passing a Howler and a Priest, both of which are great, but the Slayer has more value in our deck. So Permeating Mass is probably the only card in our colour worth taking. And worth taking is the most inverted of commas there. I still think we take it. It has performed better than I thought it would, but I just thought it'd be a turd on a card. It's not been a turd on a card. It's been somewhat better. I'm going to take Permeating Mass. Maybe play it. Hope not to. So Steadfast Cathar is a 2-drop. Wolfkin Bond is an enchantment, which we don't really lack. We've got 2 restraints. Let's just take the 2-drop. Peace of Mind's not where we want to be. Yeah, good options in other colours. Okay, let's take the Spring Sage Ritual, I suppose. We're not going to be splashing... we're not splashing blue for these, not splashing black at all. Okay, a Mockery of Nature's not bad at all. Oh, I didn't see the Swarm. Maybe we just take the Swarm instead then. The Swarm's annoying, right? Swarm just gets out there and as it says, puts out a horrid little swarm. There was a second nature as well, so the second nature may wheel. We've missed our grapple window. Okay, let's take It of the Horrid Swarm. And hope to wheel Mockery of Nature, Desperate Sentries, and Ironclad Slayers. So we didn't pick up Right in the Grave either, but that's okay. So we're just Terrarianing for artifact value at the moment. So if I'm honest, the deck aside from Emrakul doesn't look premium, but Emrakul's premium. Yeah, about that premium. Let's take Gavanian Hallowed. Maybe we splash black for crap cards. Maybe we're forced to. Oh, Desperate Sentry is a nice little pickup here. I think this card's really quite good. None of these cards matter. I've been more impressed with Desperate Sentry than I ever thought I would. So Woodcutter's Grit, I suppose, is an instant, which we have very few at the moment. So I'll take it and probably play it, which is a thing I hope I never say. Which place? That place. I mean this place. Right, pack 3. Let's just open all the Angelic Purges. Autumnal Glooms. Although that might not work. We need Emrakul Recursion, not Emrakul Milling. Vessel of Nascencies. And maybe like Pack Guardian, Nearheath Chaplain. Dustwatch Recruiter. Odric. Odric will do for now. I like Weirding Wood and I really hope that wheels, but I think Odric's actually very good in a deck with flyers. We also have... No, that's about it. Permeating Mass doesn't have any special text. We've only got 1 Spectre Reserve, so so maybe it is Weirding Wood. I mean, let's think about this. So Odric is a 4-mana 3/3, which is not great. It can give everything Death Touch, it could give everything Flying. Did we take the second Spectre Reserves? No, we did not, did we? So Flying, Death Touch are both good abilities. And, I mean, if we get at Emrakul, we're going to win anyway. Okay, let's take Odrix. We are looking for something to do that, like, assuming we can't cast Emrakul in some games, horrible games, obviously, we will need another win con. I think it's better than True Faith, although I do hope True Faith wheels, because True Faith is very good in this deck. It turns all our sentries into actual monsters. Ooh, a Swallower or a Rabbit Bite, that's tough. That's really tough. Foul Orchard helps us splash our crappy black cards, which is perhaps not a consideration. I think I'm going to take Soul Swallower because again the upside's very large. Like we've got instant, sorcery, enchantment, artifact, creatures. Probably need a few more instants and sorcerers. Passing Rabbit Bite's tough, but we're in white. We might get more removal. I mean, if we were just green-blue seems to be the removal less colour, and I always loathe to pass Rabbit Bite and colours like that, but in green-white there's a possibility we pick up a 4th pick white removal, maybe. Anyway, Soul Swallow is just a very good card in this deck, let's take it. And hope to get... Oh, well, Silver Strike's pretty good here. I mean, Byway Courier is a very strong card, but we are low on instants. Both for Delirium and Emerald Delirium. I think we take the Silver Strike. Kindly Strange is good and all, and an interesting splash. Maybe it is the pick though, because it's easy to splash. But we need 2 Terrarians. If we're not playing any black, we'd need 2 Terrarians to activate. Silver Strike gains us life, slows the game down, makes Emrakul easier to cast. What's not to love? Ooh, lovely. Don't know where that voice came from, but let's deal with it. It was there. Let's have a look at actual converted mana cost. I still think it's near Heath. Oh, not necessarily though. Drogskall's just... I mean, Drogskall cover is slow, but it does mean you win the game. I think near Heath's just better though. Lifelink on the Emrakul is... Oh, sorry, on the Odric's big deal. It's a sweet card. I think it's more for our deck than Drogskall. We've already got big win cons. The biggest. Let's take the near Heath and go small or go home. Vessel's good. Vessel puts another enchantment in the graveyard, gives us 2 flyers, which could either chump, trigger Odric, or beat down if we get an aggro curve. But I think we're just taking Byway Courier here. Despite having a highish curve, Byway Courier is much better than Hinterland Logger. I think Drownyard Temple's, bizarre as it sounds, the pick here. Or maybe Epitaph Golem. So Drownyard Temple can get milled quite easily with Crop Sigil. That's about it though. So maybe it's not as inspired a pick as I originally thought, and congratulated myself for preemptively making. I mean, Epitaph Golem just... It doesn't do too much though, it's just a 3 mana, a 5 mana 3/5, but it is an artifact creature. I think I'm going to take the Temple. I think if ever there's a deck for the Temple, it might just be this one. My doubt is there is ever a deck for the Temple, but alas, let us try. So it's between land. Well, I mean, there's a lot of valid picks here. Washer in the Web shuts down aggro, which is what we want to do. Warp Landscape helps with Delirium. Moorland Drifter's a 2-drop, and we're probably going to have Delirium already, let's be honest. So it's a good 2-drop. It's also something to do early, which we are lacking. Maybe it's just the Drifter. We've got 2 2-drops. I think we probably need some more to just guarantee our staying alive till the late game, which we hopefully try and win. Okay, let's take the Drifter. Scavenger's great here. I mean, Groundkeeper's got nice little value as well, but unless we stick a Crop Sigil, I can't see us milling too many lands. Mystery of the Sleepless is probably for the board, but we'll take it. We'll take it and be happy. Ooh, Vessel's a good pickup, as in a playable card. Could not play the Woodcutter's Grit. Yeah, I'd much prefer not to. So I think I'm going to preemptively take that decision. We are down to 1 instant, 1 sorcery though with this. Now let's see where the rest of the deck ends up. Splash for Cemetery Recruitment off the Terrarians, which doesn't sound particularly great, mainly because it isn't. I keep having it in my mind that Emrakul is going to get milled. I don't know why. I'm just a nervous person when it comes to Emrakul. So that doesn't look terrible. It kind of got there in the last pack. It's a little bit weak, I think, to, well, not even to beat down. It's just a bit one-dimensional. But I think Soul Swallower and Odric give us alternate win cons. Unruly Mob, I might even be good here. We've got a lot of tokens. I'm saying that more as a homage to Unruly Mob. We're not going to play it, I don't think. Right, let's look at this bro then. 16 creatures is maybe a bit high if we're trying to trigger Delirium reliably, given that 3 of our non-creature spells are just Terrarians. So Terrarian. 2, yeah, I think we do play the Woodcutter's Grit actually. It's not a particularly exciting card to play. I think we can get rid of Steadfast Cathar, Drifter, and Drifter's better as our Scavenger and Captive. I'm not a big fan of Permeating Mass in general, and this deck didn't go down the... Well, I mean, it's not aggressive, but aside from Emrakul, it has got a curve. It can beat down. Because I think we are getting Delirium relatively reliably for these Desperate Sentries, but in order to increase the reliability, I think we do cut Permeating Mass. So one more cut. It could just be Vessel. We've got a lot of enchantments already. Okay. So this deck looks okay. It's not classic, but there we go. There we go. That's how it goes. Lands. Let's run colourless, I suppose. And we could get to the Horrid Swarm, but if the Horrid Swarm Desperate Sentry is a nice little combo. 8/8. That seems wrong. I suppose we've got 3 Terrarian to help. No, 8/8 seems okay. We need green earlier. We've only got 1 double green. Yeah, okay, we'll stick with 8/8. Right. Well, I'm going to take my time and see you in round 1. I can take as long as I want. I'll take like 2 minutes. See you in round 1, chaps.